a lady asked for this, so I am going to show you how I do it. We're going to talk about our teeth. For those of you that miss out about the teeth are our bones, okay? So if you want to know what your bones are like, check your teeth. Now, a lot of people do a lot of things to their teeth. They put brighteners on that has bleach. Bleach is a drawing compound, so be careful if you're going to be using this. Teeth do not normally come pearly white. That's another thing you have to know. Teeth are not pearly white. It's not. All right. Now you need two things. Now I make my own tooth powder. All right. So twice a week I use the tooth powder, and the rest of the time I just use water and a toothbrush. This tooth powder is very strong, though it only has 2 ingredients in it. Now, you cannot use any salt in this, because if you don't use the right salt, your teeth will be stained yellow permanently. So you have to be careful about that, all right? So I'm going to show you how I make it. It's just 2 things. It's simply baking soda and plain salt. I'm not talking pink salt. I'm not talking kosher salt. I'm not talking about flaky salt. I'm talking about plain salt and nothing else. See? By plain, simple salt. Okay, now that we got that straightened out. So, if you use anything else and your teeth turn yellow, it's your fault, not mine. That's why I said all of that up front. If you're healthy, and I have proof of this, it happened to me. If you are healthy and your teeth and your bones are strong, if you get a cavity, your teeth naturally will be able to repair themselves. This happens naturally. Now, if you lose your teeth and they're coming out and they're loose, that is because you've lost a lot of minerals, and it's not because of your teeth, it's because your teeth roots are wedged into your jaw bones. Actually, the upper and the lower, they're actually wedged in there. When you lose your minerals and these bones, both of these bones, top and bottom where your teeth sit, recede, that's when your teeth fall out, because they have nothing to hold on to. It's not the gums. It's not the gums at all. Now, I know when I end up high, El-Jode, I know that when I get a sinus problem, I'll get drainage because the sinuses are around the eyes, they'll drain, and you can see the gum pulls back and it's red and they hurt, okay? So, all right, JR, okay, I know what you want. So now that I've explained all of that so you understand, hi Shane, now that you understand that your teeth are bones, why you lose your teeth is because of minerals. Now, a lot of you don't want to hear this. I don't care. I have to tell you what I know. And that is that when you drink liquor, be it a light beer, be it hard liquor, be it this liquor, any kind of liquor is going to draw those minerals out of your bones, okay? Now you say, well, I'll take minerals. Sure, you can take minerals, but this is why I cook bones down and all, to make sure we always get those minerals. Minerals actually trigger the warmth you have in your body. Believe it or not, they really do. They do such nice things and we don't know about it. You have to use equal amounts of plain salt. Like I said, if you use anything else, you can't look at me because I'm going to tell you the truth. Plain salt. You're going to put equal amounts of baking soda and plain salt together, and we mix it up. So make sure that you measure it level. That's what I'm doing right now. So now that you know about your teeth, your nails are minerals as well. And remember, we don't have a lot of healthy people anymore. Like I said, if Noah lived that long, I couldn't see him, he's going to gum it the last 800 years of his life? You know, something is terribly wrong. People are losing their teeth. Like I said, women had long hair in old age. Why do we have to cut our hair? Why is the gray hair that we have now so weak that it breaks off? I know why mine broke off. I was using bobby pins, you know, and I wasn't being extra careful with my hair. All right, so we've got 4 tablespoons of baking soda, plain baking soda. We're going to use Plain salt, and I mean it. Plain salt, not pink salt, not flake salt, not kosher salt. None of those you need. Just plain salt without iodine. And you're going to put the same equal amount. I'm not hungry, Jeffrey. Have a steak sandwich. That'd be good with red onions on it. So I'll put 4 tablespoons of salt. And like I said, this is so strong you only need it twice a week to use. And I don't use anything else except water on the other days and a toothbrush. That's it. Yeah, now you're pouring. And all what you have to do, we're making tooth powder. And you crunch this all up, or you can put it through a strainer if you wish to make sure you get the flakes out, or you can squeeze the flakes, the lumps together and get rid of them. But this is what you use twice a week. And it's very strong. And you don't need anything else. If you read what was on tooth powder and toothpaste, you wouldn't want to use it anymore. But always remember, your teeth are not pearly white. That is a man thing that they've made up. Mankind decided to say you need really white teeth. It's not that way. And as you eat through the years, your teeth will slowly start to stain from some of the foods, especially coffee is notorious in tea for staining you. War Bonds -U1Z. Hi. Plain salt and baking soda. Moon, yes, I do remember you. So this is all it is to making tooth powder, all because a woman wanted to know. And that's how you do it. That's why I do it. So I brushed my teeth with this on Sundays and Wednesdays. And press, high press. So this is what I use on Wednesday and Sunday. The other times it's just water and stuff. Now, if you have bad breath, that's probably undigested food. I am doing well today. I'm feeling much more like myself again after being sick. But because we've got another snowstorm coming through, I'm going to stay on apple cider vinegar and water, I think, until March or April. I'll just take it every day. You're busy? Okay. Okay. I'm doing all right. That's it. That's what you do. You get a container. Don't put it in a jar in the bathroom. You'll have to get a plastic container. Other than that, your lid will rust. But if you have bad breath and you have to gargle, that's undigested food in your stomach that hasn't come up because you went to bed on a full stomach, so it hasn't broken down or anything else. So it sits there, so it becomes rancid. That's the problem with that. Now, if you have film on your mouth, that's the same thing. Now, another thing is, if you have a beautiful arch, like half a circle, I'm not talking about a U, a perfect arch, your teeth should be perfect in your mouth, and you should have a beautiful bite. But if you have your mouth isn't wide enough for all your teeth, you'll notice they're crowded or crooked. I don't even do that either. If you want to floss, you can. If you want to. I'm a widow. Where was I? You can floss if you want, but if your bone structure wasn't as wide as it should be in a nice arch, you'll notice you have crooked teeth. That's because you cannot get it all your teeth through, so they sort of bend in different shapes to get in there. My teeth are crooked. My mother was drinking when she carried me, so I don't have the full development of a full arch. Mine's more of a U shape. And so these are problems that you can have. As for flossing, a toothpick usually goes and I'll get it out. I'm one of those. Okay. think that, but see, here it is, all mixed up nice and it's ready to go. So you can sit there and look at your teeth. If you develop films and stuff, remember that is undigested food. I saw an article, I could not believe, I was listening to this. This person was talking about you have about 15 to 25 pounds of shit that's dried in the wall in your body. I have been telling you guys about that already, that you have to keep making sure. Thank you. You have to keep that body clean. You really do. That's why a lot of people don't want you to see their urine or their bowels. They get really embarrassed because that's your telltale sign. Now, if you have a lot of extra B's and minerals and stuff, you'll notice your urine is yellow. B2 is the one that gives you that color. So if you take vitamins, you notice they're yellow. That is the B2 in it. All right. Now, the thing is that I found out this after that if you take vitamins, they just synthetically make these vitamins, all right? But they're finding out the B's that you find in the food that you eat actually have little, let's see, what do they call them? Enzymes hooked up to them. Like they said, they come with them, but we don't know what they do. There's a lot that we don't know about the human body, but the one thing we do know about the human body is it needs everything to function. So if you're missing something, or another thing that destroys your minerals in your bones a lot are drugs. You'll notice addicts start losing their teeth. That's because the bones are receding and getting weak. I have a friend and she has so many cavities in her, fillings from cavities in her mouth that even her front teeth in the back have fillings. I have never seen anything like that. So this really surprised me. And she seems to be getting shorter, by the way. Anyway, so she is missing a lot of minerals, and now she's got knee problems and stuff, and she's younger than I am. And I don't have these kind of problems because you keep on replacing them. But understand, you can't take it when you're young and then you say, oh, I've got it when I was young, now I can do whatever I want. Your body requires that you take care of it every day, every time you eat. Hi, Yuto. I think I said that right. So there's a lot that goes into the body. Doctors are the ones that were losing their patients, and the patients weren't getting well with medication. It became researchers. Researchers observe a lot of things, but they cannot tell you everything. What works for one person doesn't work for another. Like women color their hair. I know they do. You don't have to tell me. They put perms in their hair. They put stuff in their hair. They put mousse in their hair. Mousse has rubber in it. They use hairspray that has rubber in it. Why do you think the hair stays the way it is? The hair, and I'm just talking about things that you should be able to put together yourself. Why their hair is falling out? Hello? What have you been doing your whole life? So what you do throughout your life, now maybe your mother cooks and does everything like I've done, all right? And then you leave home at 18, all right? 18, you leave home. But then the wild side of you goes, I'm going to go drinking, I'm going to party. Girls said, I got pregnant, I'm going to go in for abortion, I'm going to do all. So you keep on doing all of this, and you're not really eating well because you're spending more time partying and everything. I use Olivia. It comes from Bar, Baar. I order my shampoo and conditioner. It's the same one I've been using since was 20. And they say you have to change your shampoos all the time. Well, my hair happens to like this one, so I use it. It comes from the ARE. It's still another formula from ARE. So that's what I use. Hi, Christian. So all of these things, you think about what you do throughout your life. And then when you finally, hit 25 or 30 and you've burnt out your teens and all the partying and stuff, then you start having a family, but you've already depleted your body part of the way. Women get sick. Oh, morning sickness. Ugh. You brought your body already there. All right, because you already abused it up to that point, Then you go through life raising your kids. You say, well, there's not enough money. We're going to do this. We're going to go out to eat. I don't have time. I've got to run and work. You got all of this going on. Then you hit menopause, and then it kills you. You become another woman, and you're in menopause for years. Women only had menopause one day. So what's going on? These women had long hair. Now they're telling you to cut your hair when you turn gray. What's going on? Women are bloated. People are having trouble moving their bowels. What's going on? Something is going on. And it would have to be the food and stuff that we're doing or things that we are not doing and caring for ourselves. So it's a whole record. So now they sit there and they're sitting there and saying, oh, this and that. But the thing is they would have to go back generations and see how healthy they were then. And then you can see what we're doing now and where we're at. Oh, from Korea. Ariel, nice to meet you. Blueberry, Pepsi and sugar. Well, if you like Pepsi, go ahead. That's made with probably artificial prunes. It used to be real. We used to get, our sodas used to have real fruit in them, so we used to be able to see them. But anyway, now you know how to make tooth powder and realize that what you do to your life is going to drag you down a road when you get old, and you're going to be hurting. Amy, it's nice to meet you too. Thank you, Ariel. So just be aware of that. This channel is to teach you how to make things that you can do yourself to save money. And it's also a channel to show you how to make your food more nutritious. I mean, you don't have to make my recipes, but you see how I take them and make them more nutritious. You could take these ideas and put it into your food. But if you wish to use mine, it's okay. Well, Steph, I hope you feel better. Well, if eating spinach and bread every day, if you wish, are you making the bread? Is it sourdough bread? Is it whole grain bread? Or do you buy it in the store? And then if you're buying it in the store, what's in it? Did you bother reading it? I told my son he wanted Raisin Brands. Hold on. Now my son, and we do like Raisin Bran, but I don't buy it cooked. Okay, so I said, he bought Kellogg's Raisin Bran. I said, did you read the ingredients on this? He said, but Mommy, I want it. I said, did you read it? 3 seconds and I like you already. Okay, Steph, new subs, thank you. I said, did you read what was on this Raisin Bran? Did you? Because some of them have chemicals in them. And if you can't understand the wording on it and you don't know what that word means, you're looking for trouble. So I sat him down at the table and said, all right, you're going to sit down and listen. Sure. All right. So because he knows if you bring something in the house, it's going into the trash. All right. This has whole grain. Okay. Well, we eat a lot of whole grains in my home. So we're on top with that one. Okay. Raisins. Well, you know I use raisins, right? Wheat bran. I use wheat bran. Okay. I use sugar. I use brown sugar syrup. That instead of using just brown sugar, they use brown sugar syrup, which gives it a binding to hold the cereal together. Then when they hit it, it cracks up into the pieces that, that makes it crunchy. And I said, okay, you're covered. He said, I did what? I said, you're all right. He said, he almost fell out. He went, oh, thank God. So see, this was a cereal that he could eat because it doesn't have anything that would hurt him. Of course, I told you the sugar's right there. It has sugar, which is white. It has brown sugar syrup. You need something. If you just add the sugar, the whole grain wheat and raisins, it won't stick together. See, I've made brown sugar syrup, so I already know. So when you make that and then they dry it, because they'll mix it all up, it's more like a dough, if you want to say. I'm just going to go general like that to give you an idea. They lay it out really, really thin, okay? Then they dry it. Then all they have to do is crack it up, add some raisins, and you have raisin bran. That's it, a very simple thing. So you would have to need the brown sugar syrup. And the sugar gives it that crystal that you see on top of the brown sugar. So this was fine, though he was having almost a heart attack while he did it. All right. So when you get these things, don't be afraid to sit down and read them. I mean, you get there, you have to know. You have to know. This is by sodium carbonate. It's it's an antacid too, but it's also great for washing clothes, baking things, and everything else because I use it a lot. Thank you. Boo boo. Okay. So that's an active ingredient. So if you sit there and read salt, they said it does not supply iodine. Very important because we're making tooth powder with it. It contains salt. I do not know what this is. I'll have to look it up. It has yellow percentage of soda. I don't know what that is. I have to check it out. But I said I had to find plain salt. That's why I got this one. But I only use it for tooth powder. I do not eat this. So read your packages. I mean, I go through the store. If you catch me in the store, I'm going to be reading, or everything's, or you're not going to see anything canned in my cart when I go shopping. So always be careful of what you do and everything like that to care for your health, because if you don't, down the road, you're going to pay the price. I'm not going to pay the price for it. You will pay the price for it. And then when you have to greet that day with medicine and you don't want to take it because you say, why isn't my body working right? Well, you have to look back at what you've done. Now, if you're married and your wife is doing the cooking, then why isn't your body working right? If you haven't done anything wrong, you only have one place to look, to her, if she hasn't done her job. You see? So there is always a payback for not eating well. And that's why I'm always on this channel trying to help everybody understand a little bit. We don't know everything about nutrition. I'm not going to tell you we know everything that makes the body work. No, we do not. But we do know enough that we can have our health and keep going. I am not cooking right now, Joe. We're making tooth powder. Right here, this is what we're doing. Okay, that's all we're doing today. I think my stove needs calibrating. I'm going to check it tomorrow morning. I'll show you how I do it. I cooked the cornbread today. I stuck it with a toothpick. It came out dry, which told me it was done. And then I had to cool it before you can cut it. And when I did it, before I cut it, as it was cooling, it was collapsing in the middle. And I said, wait. I have it at the temperature. I know what I'm doing. I've made cornbread. I know what I'm doing. All right. So I let it cool completely. Then I cut it. And it wasn't done in the middle. The outer edges were. Yesterday, I showed you the coconut bread. It looked beautiful. When I woke up this morning, the center had collapsed down on it. And I said, so I cut it. And I said, this is not done yet. I stuck a toothpick in it. It was done. So if your oven is off, I'm not going to know till tomorrow morning. I'm going to have to look and see about it. So I'm going to calibrate my oven tomorrow morning, and we're going to see if it's holding, because if it's 5 degrees off, it's affecting the food that I'm baking with. And that means I'll have to call people in to get it recalibrated and bring it up so I can sit there and bake. And you know I do a lot of baking. If you've been on this channel long enough, not only do I use the top of the stove, I use the oven just as much. So mine gets a heavy workout. That's why it's a Maytag oven. It lasts forever. Yeah, so I'm going to have to work on that. Yeah, you have to worry about your health. Look, life is going to give you good, bad, and different. All right. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to love you. Okay. It's just like that. But the thing is that life is easier when you have your health. Once you have your health, you can move through it better. You have a better frame of mind. But when your body is, and then the body is amazing and it does a lot. You're very welcome, Shane. You just really have to care for your health. If you don't, you're going to be sorry. I use the tooth powder because I started looking up on, I decided one day I'd start looking at what's in the toothpaste. All right. Google time, because I don't know what this word is. I grab my phone. Okay. All right. What are the side effects? This is what I do. What is it? What are the side effects? What's it made up from? And I start reading and reading. I said, okay, that's going out the door. Throw that out. Yeah, I go through that. I have thrown food out because of what was in it. Because I sit there and say, what's this? Okay. I have wasted money when I went to go learn about Manjaro. And I noticed shortly after I sat there and told you what was in it, now they're saying to do this, make this Jello recipe and all. And I said, that's interesting because some of the stuff that was in the Manjaro that I had brought to your attention was there. And I said, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So now they're trying to change things around. But it's all there. But I go through all of this to help you help yourselves. And that's what I want, because a country that is healthy without taking, like we have soldiers taking medicine now, it was never that way before. If you are healthy, you've got your weight, you've got a clarity of mind, you have your strength, you're stronger, you have more endurance. So think about that. To be healthy is very, very important. And the structure, if you don't like arguing stuff, people are more, let's say, pleasant, if you wish to say. They're more content with life. Life's going to dish me out, has dished out. I should be dead. All right, I'm going to say it point blank. I should have been dead. But I had my health and I could fight back to bring myself back. Plus, I had God's blessing. There's no way I could have done it without him. So you think about it. If you're healthy, you'll be able to survive. You don't break bones easily. Thank you, Young. So like I told you, I fell this last year. I missed a step and I landed. I bent this hand all the way back. The hand went all the way back from here. Now, I should have broken my hand. I hit my face, and yet I did not get a bruise. I sat there and took my fingers as I walked back up the driveway. Well, pop, and I pulled them back in. It was a little swollen. I could go like this and it'd go click, 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 click. But now it's strong. I don't have that problem anymore, but it took a while to heal. Happy birthday, belated, Young Shadow. So the body is very resilient, as you say, but you can be healthy and old. You don't have to fall. I hit my knees, I fall, I'll trip, I get back up, So you should be able to continue. But so many people are so sick and they're so fragile now. It's really bad. That's how unhealthy we are. Could you imagine living, if you sat there and took a 60-year-old today who's on medication and all, and they're losing their hair and their teeth and all. Now, do you really think Moses, when he hit 60 and he hit 900, he lost all his teeth? He was bald, blind, and everything else? I don't think so. They had to be very healthy. Oh, Young, you are a baby. I don't know. That's up to you. But listen, I'm going to go. I'm going to go put this in a container. Tomorrow morning, I will be on, and we'll see if my oven needs calibrating. And if it does, that means no baking. I'm going to be out of the oven until I get the people here to fix it. No, because to me, you're a baby. I would date a man that it would be older than me, but you're not going to find anybody older than me that isn't already on medication and already sick. I was a bit concerned when I had a boyfriend after my husband died and he was 6 years younger than me. I was a little uncomfortable with that, but he had a strong character. Yeah, you can be 32, and believe you me, when you're 73, you've seen a lot more from the 32 to 72, so believe you me, there's a big difference there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be here tomorrow morning because I'm gonna show you how we calibrate. I've got to get my little oven thermometer. We're gonna set it there and wait 15 minutes. I'll set it at 350 and see if I get 350 off my little thermometer. So anyway, I want you to take care. Enjoy your day. Now you know how to make tooth powder. You know how to make detergent. You know how to make baking powder. Gee, you're learning a lot in a very short time. Okay, so take care and enjoy the rest of the day. It's early afternoon, so you got a whole afternoon to go through. Bye-bye, everyone.